Shortly, I'll be calling up here Miss Sierra Chauffeur. She is the communications lead at Tech for Dev, and she'll be giving the welcome address on behalf of our executive director, Duro Oladipo, who is unavoidably absent at the event today. But Yemisi will be giving the welcome address on her behalf. So listen and pay attention, and after that, I'll be right back to continue. Hello, Yemisi.
Hi, Joy. Thank you so much. Good afternoon and good evening, everyone. My name is Yemisi, just like Joy has said, and on behalf of the co-founder and executive director of Tech for Dev, Oladuro Oladipo, I would like to welcome you all to the 7th edition of the Women Techsters Alumna. 7, that's a great number. Welcome to all our guest speakers. Thank you for joining us today. You'll get to meet our guest speakers soon. We are elated to have women from across Africa join us today to learn about how to pursue their interests in technology. Just like Joy has rightly said, Tech for Dev is a non-profit that creates access to decent work and entrepreneurship opportunities and platforms for Africans through digital skills empowerment and advocacy. Our vision is to equip Africans with digital and life skills that foster economic prosperity, financial freedom, and sustainable development. The Women Techsters is an initiative of Tech for Dev in partnership with Microsoft that aims to bridge the digital divide between men and women in the technology ecosystem. Through our pilot program, the Nigerian Women Techsters, we have enabled almost 3,000 women between the ages of 16 to 40 across Nigeria to ignite interest in pursuing careers and businesses in tech. Driven by the success stories of numerous women on the program, we have a new ambition and dream to replicate this model across Africa, providing more women access to opportunities to launch careers in tech. Our dream by 2030 is to reach 5 million women in Africa by empowering them with knowledge and skills to partake in the technology industry in Africa and the world at large. We believe that empowering change for women across Africa, as well as providing them opportunities to access employment and entrepreneurship, would help achieve a 50-50 male to female ratio balance in the tech space. The Women Techsters Open Day is a monthly virtual program organized for women across Africa to learn about leveraging the power of technology to start and advance their careers, and also create technology and technology-enabled businesses. The Open Day is an opportunity for women to interact with other successful women who have built careers or businesses in technology over the years, and they will share their personal experiences, speak about possible career paths and business opportunities, and help women appreciate the importance of acquiring digital and deep tech skills in this digital age. We appreciate Microsoft for collaborating with us to bring this initiative to life across Africa, and we look forward to impacting and improving the economic realities of women across Africa. I would like to appreciate everyone for being here today to commence your journey to becoming women in tech. And I look forward to a wonderful conversation. Thank you. And over to you, Joy.
Thank you very much, Yemisi, for that wonderful, wonderful welcome address. And I also want to welcome Oluchukwuba, Abibat, Oladunju. Thank you very much. This is your first time here. Emerini, Cynthia. Oh, wow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining this event. I promise you, we've been doing this for 7 months now. We've been doing it back to back every month, and we've had people gain opportunities, gain insight on how to go about their interest in tech. Many people have even connected with the speakers and, join their teams, go on to, join other programs through this platform. I remember one Open Day event, someone came here and she learned about the Women Techsters Initiative. She registered for the fellowship program and she's currently in the fellowship about to round up. Another person came to the Open Day edition in March and heard Confidence Stably, one of our speakers, talk about her passion for cybersecurity, and out of curiosity, she connected on LinkedIn, and today she's gone through, she's actually in the Cyber Girls training program that's ongoing. So there are a lot of opportunities out there, and attending events such as this would help you connect to the right people, listen to the right things. You're spending your time, you're investing your time into your career growth and development, and that's really important. So you're very welcome, and I thank you for choosing to be here rather than being in somewhere else. So welcome Rachel, welcome Oluwabukola, welcome Tosin, welcome every one of you. This is the Open Day event, and like Yemisi has said, it's organized every month for you to learn about how to leverage technology for your career and business growth. You might have been hearing about tech, and you don't know how to go about it. You're at the right place, and it's so good to have you here right now. We'll be seeing a video shortly of Fatima Ahmed. Fatima is one of the beneficiaries of the Nigerian Women Techsters program, and she went through the program as a graduate of chemistry. Today, she's working as a tech person at a tech organization called Tech Experts here in Nigeria. And it's so beautiful to watch her story and see how she has achieved what she's achieved today, and see her grow and continue in her journey into tech. So we'll be watching that video, and I'll be right back. Please do not go anywhere. Okay, thank you.
My name is Fatima Ahmed. I'm from Ilorin, Kwara State. I studied chemistry from the University of Ilorin, but now I'm a woman in tech. Getting a job in Nigeria is very difficult. After my National Youth Service program, I was at home for like 5 to 6 months, writing CVs, applying for jobs, and the highest I got was callbacks, which was very frustrating. I was talking to a friend about the difficulties of getting a job in Nigeria, and he was telling me about the opportunities in tech. Coincidentally, at that time, another friend of mine was telling me about how she went to the Nigerian Women Techsters program, where she learned how to code and build websites. Seeing what she could do, I was motivated to apply for the Nigerian Women Techsters program. The training was for 12 weeks. I learned technical skills, building websites, writing codes. I also learned soft skills, communicating effectively, working in teams. It made me more effective in what I do today. Coming for the training, I just felt that, okay, I'll just learn some new skills, then have to go back home to apply for other jobs. But during the training, I started getting a lot of job opportunities, and here I am today. I have a good job, and I am glad I took the bold step to come for the Nigerian Techsters training. I currently work as a technical support engineer at Tech Experts, where I provide cloud-based solutions. I want to use this opportunity to encourage other young women out there who are looking for jobs to empower themselves with tech skills and take advantage of opportunities like this.
With partners like Microsoft, we've been able to train over 2,475 women in coding and deep tech skills across 12 states in Nigeria. And all this training was done for free. Over the next 10 years, we will train 5 million women across Africa by 2030. And we're looking for partners who could join us on this journey.
Okay, so that was a beautiful video of Fatima Ahmed. And in case you're wondering, you're here and you're wondering, I don't have a background, or I don't have a degree at all. I haven't gone to the university. I haven't been to college. How do I assess these opportunities? Or you may be wondering, okay, I have a job, but it's not in tech. How do I go into tech? Every question you have in mind, or whatever it is, you may be thinking about, how do I juggle my career with my family? How do I learn? What opportunities can I get? Don't worry, I'll be back to answer your questions. But right now, we'll be going into a panel session between two of our beautiful women in tech, and they're industry experts. We have Maha Ali and Lebogang Madise. Yes, I'll be reading out the bio and then they would come up. So let me start with Lebogang Madise. Lebogang is the moderator for today. She's an entrepreneur and advocate for women in STEM. She works in the Azure Business Group at Microsoft Middle East and Africa as a product marketing manager for the developer audience, focusing on Africa. As a Dev PMP, Lebogang empowers developers to build highly sought after cloud skills, create innovative cloud applications, and move on-prem workloads to the cloud. Her passion is in advancing technology for humanity. She is an ad hoc committee member for IEEE Diversity, Equity and Inclusion in Region 8 EMA. She is the founder of the Fela Hymns, an online community that digitized African hymns to be accessible by all. Wow. Lebogang lives by the motto, teamwork makes the dream work, by John Maxwell, and unless one like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not, by Dr. Seuss. And we're so happy to have Lebogang join us today at the event. Also joining her at this panel is Maha Ali. She's a specialist in the intelligent automation and robotics process automation field. She enjoys 10 years of experience working for leading firms such as Hewlett-Packard, Commercial International Bank, Advanced Alfana, and National Bank of Egypt. Her achievements include leading programs and projects such as BF Italy, BFNL, introducing RPA in multiple domain areas such as banking, healthcare, insurance, and aviation, with a vision that perceives female empowerment as a necessity, not an option. Maha's professional experience spans from quality control and testing to intelligent automation and RPA. During that period, she was awarded Customer Champion in the fourth quarter of 2018, Top Achiever in the second quarter of 2019, and Efficient Project Deliver in the third quarter of 2020. She has also been an exceptional team leader, leading 2 teams in the fourth quarter of 2019. Her distinction is driven by her philosophy and personal conviction that a woman can become as competitive as a man in any professional domain. She's currently a business innovation and technology deputy manager in the National Bank of Egypt. Maha is a graduate of Faculty of Computer Science, Mansoura University in 2009. Afterwards, she went on to graduate from the Information Technology Institute in 2011 with a major of quality control and testing. She's currently pursuing a master's degree in computational linguistics from Haiwan University in Egypt. I'm so delighted to have Maha and Lebogang join us today at the Open Day event. So I'm handing over to Lebogang to moderate this session, and I'll be back shortly.
Thank you very much, Joy. And welcome to everyone who's joining us this evening. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. As Joy explained, tonight we were supposed to be with both Maha Ali as well as
wow,
Sweetie.
We have Sweetie.
Yay! Great.
Also great. Sweetie, could you please take off your face mask? So let me tell you all, sorry Lebogang, let me just quickly read out her bio. Sweetie Anang is a technology enthusiast with about 8 years experience in product development and software engineering, with a focus on web and mobile applications. She's an advocate for STEM education, health equity and gender equity, and a co-founder of health nonprofit Stroke Aid Foundation, which seeks to provide resources to stroke survivors and their caregivers. She holds a bachelor's degree in computer science and a master's in business analytics. Currently, she runs a technology firm offering various services to help drive the digital innovation and transformation of clients' businesses. Hi, Sweetie. Thank you very much for joining us. So, Lebogang, over to you now.
Thank you, Joy, and warm welcome to Sweetie and Maha, as well as everyone who's joining us this evening. We really appreciate you being with us. So I think before I fire away with the questions that I have for both of our panelists, what I really admire about both Sweetie Anang and Maha Ali is that they are representatives of not just where tech careers are hot right now, but where the future in tech is actually going. So Sweetie has 8 years experience in product development and software engineering. So a lot of the questions that I'll be asking her are closely related to some of the work that she's doing in web and mobile application development. Another thing that makes it very special about her is the initiatives that she runs outside of her work environment, which is through the Stroke Aid Foundation. I know a lot of young people, especially between the ages 16 and 40, they never think stroke is something that could happen to them. So I'm actually looking forward to learning more about her foundation, as well as things that we could be aware of, so that we are not impacted by such medical stuff. And then with Maha, she's in intelligent automation. So we're going to be chatting quite a lot with her to understand what RPA is, first of all, and the background that someone would need in order to venture into robotic process automation, as well as its application in the banking industry, in the healthcare sector, as well as the oil and gas industry. Before I ask them both questions, I'd like to give them an opportunity to say hello to all of you. Maha, we can start with you, and then followed by Sweetie.
Thank you so much, Lebo, for the introduction. Good afternoon and good evening, everyone. And I'm actually pleased to be here with you. And thank you, Dick, for having me tonight in such a great initiative. And I'm looking forward for your questions. Yeah.
Thank you, Maha. Over to you, Sweetie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sweetie Anang, as already introduced, and I'm happy to be here and to be part of this discussion. So let's fire away.
Awesome. So the first question I have, please excuse me, I'm using two screens. So if you see me looking away, I'm not looking away from you. I'm just keeping myself honest to make sure that I stick to the agenda and I don't steer away from the questions that we prepared. So Maha, in your own words, or for someone that doesn't know what RPA is, are you able to share what that is and what it entails for someone to venture into a role that makes them an RPA expert? If you can please start with what the words RPA stand for as well.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Okay. So RPA mainly stands for Robotics Process Automation. This simply means that we review the repetitive tasks that the member of each team in a corporate or in a company handle daily and decide which of those tasks are feasible to be automated so they can be accomplished by a robot. It's not worthy that a robot doesn't mean a man like a machine that moves and acts when we command them. A robot is simply software that is designed to perform tasks completely from A to Z without any intervention from human. That's why we call it a robot. The main objective of the RPA actually is that to lift the burden of the teams or of the humans, so their duties would be focused mainly on the cognitive tasks that need decisions and tasks that need more innovation. So robotics process automation is mainly concerned about automating the daily tasks, the daily repetitive tasks, so that it will help. It will have a great ROI, return on investment for the company. It will save cost and save time as well, and it will help the human to focus on more cognitive and innovative tasks. Yeah. So this is briefly about the robotics process automation.
Thank you, Maha. So for people who don't know, what would you say is a human cognitive task, an example of a human cognitive task?
Okay. So a human cognitive task is mainly a task that needs thinking and needs a decision making, because as we know that the robots are rule-based and are rule-based. You just give the rule to the robot and just follow the rules without any thinking or without any intelligence. So what we mean by the cognitive human tasks is that a task that needs thinking and that needs decisions taken by the humans instead of the robots. Yeah, because the robots actually are the software, which is robots are dedicated for the repetitive tasks that has no pure decision making when it comes to thinking or when it comes to critical decisions. If we have the decisions that all these decisions are standard, and we know that the decisions won't be changing in the future, so we can go for the RPA, for the robotics process automation. But once we need a decision, we need a consultation, and we need a human thinking to be intervened in the task. So this is actually what is meant by the cognitive human task.
Yeah. Sorry, Maha. So sorry to interrupt you. I just got feedback from some of the attendees that they are not able to hear you clearly.
Sure.
Okay, so when you said sure, I heard you perfectly. But maybe what we can try is that the next time I move over to you, maybe speak a little bit slower and closer to your microphone. And then and then if I lose you, I will signal like this with my hand so that I don't interrupt you. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sweetie, so with your experience in both web and mobile development, I saw, I'm going to start with that aspect of your career. I'd like to know now, 8 years into your career, what do you do today? Do you still code web apps or websites, or do you still make any mobile applications? I know from personal experience that the technology you use for mobile dev has changed a lot in the past 8 years. So how have you ensured that you remain relevant in your industry and technically competent?
Well, so basically, to remain relevant, you'd want to imbibe self-learning. Nobody is going to come and teach you what you have to do, and so you have to always keep abreast with the trends and the times. See whichever aspects of the technology stack interests you, and then you have to take the steps to actually learn them. There are free courses online on Coursera, edX, and whatnot. So that's something that I used to do a lot. But now I have actually moved to full-time product development. As of the start of this year, I have stopped coding. So I've moved full-time to product development. At my tech consulting firm, I hire developers and work with them to build products.
Thank you, Sweetie. So you said you've stopped product development. So what do you do now today?
No, I've stopped coding. So now I do product development, yes. So product development is basically setting the vision and strategy for a product. And so then you can also include a bit of product design, designing the wireframes, or like trying to figure out what features you think would be relevant and prioritizing all of that during the product development phase. And then you kind of like manage the software developers to build the products and bring that vision to life.
So this question is for both you, Maha and Sweetie. What inspired you to study computer science? I think what I love is that you've both went on to branch into different career fields, but from a foundation point of view, you each chose to study computer science. So why computer science?
Yeah, okay, sure. So first of all, I had a passion towards computer and technology since I was in high school. And actually my mother and my father instilled with me the passion towards the technology and computer. And when you think about the technology, or when you think about the computer, you think about the future. And this field is actually a field of improvement and a field of evolvement. It always has something new, and you will always have a chance to have a continuous journey of learning. So this what makes me passionate about the computer science, and I decided to pursue my career in computer science, because actually I was interested in computers actually since high school. And this is not everything. My dad and mom vindication shaped my career path, and my patience in addressing complexities and my desire to learn more about artificial intelligence helped me, and computers actually, and the new technologies helped me to decide that this is my correct, or this is my right path to follow in my life. Yeah.
Thank you, Maha. Sweetie, same question to you.
Basically, my experience is not so far from Maha's experience. I had support from home, being that my dad was an electrical engineer, so I've kind of like been exposed to computers for as long as I can remember. As he used them a lot in his work though, but he used to use it for all these like drawings and stuff, the AutoCAD kind of software thing. And so then when in secondary school, actually, I became a lot more interested in computers. And when I was looking to study something in uni, how our educational system is kind of like what you study in secondary school almost kind of guides your path. And I'd always known that I wanted to do something in science or technology. So I was going to choose between aeronautic engineering. At the time, I don't know if they still offer it, but my uni didn't offer aeronautics, they did aerospace. And then I just sort of like selected computer science because thing is, my mom and my dad always used to say like technology is the future. And since I had an interest in technology, I didn't see why not. So I just did. And I haven't regretted it since.
That's great. So I think before I move on to my next question, one of the attendees, Sweetie, they asked, why did you stop coding?
Oh, because I'm trying to move more into management. So that is why. But for side projects or like things for the fun of it, yes, I will still code like personally, but not professionally. So that's it. And I mean, you never know. Maybe I'll just go back because I think I'm always going to be a software engineer, but there's no particular reason why. I just wanted to do more of the product management and business aspects of the whole product development.
Okay, thank you.
For me, it's more about
I'm sorry, Sweetie.
In my experience.
Sorry, Sweetie, you said it's more about, I heard
yes,
that
so what I said was for me, yes. Yeah? So for me, it's more about diversifying my experience.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Maha, one thing that I noted in your bio is that you've delivered solution architecture, development and testing in over 50 automated processes across banking, healthcare, telecommunications, financial services, petroleum and IT operations. I mean, those are like multiple industries. I know, so in one of our conferences at Microsoft earlier in the year, CEO said that in future, there won't be anything called the tech industry because every industry will be influenced by technology. And I think you are a perfect example of that, So are you able to share with us how you were able to build such a great portfolio that is spanning across these industries? I mean, oil and gas is very far from financial services and healthcare. So how did you do it?
Yeah, okay. So, since I started this career, I knew by heart that it will be a continuous journey of learning, as I said before, and building up experience in both technical and business aspects. I've had a double-folded aim to keep up with the newest technology, along with keeping business understanding in multiple domains. I was lucky to start actually my career in a company like HP, where I had access to different fields that gave me a solid understanding in multiple domains like telecommunication, IT operations, and financial services. And afterwards, I worked for the Commercial International Bank, CIB, which had strengthened my solid knowledge in banking domain. The business aspect, therefore, had developed to become an additional dimension in my career. In each juncture, I would consider the combination between learning how business model operates and investing in the tech knowledge, which is my primary leverage. I now believe that this contrast between technology and business is a contour of the automation career. And as I said before, that the robotics process automation is not a technology defined for a specific domain, but it's a technology for all domains. So it might seem that it's a little bit confusing to have RPA, automated processes, in multiple domains, but actually this is the main of the RPA, or the main of the technology. The technology actually is evolving to ease the life for the employees and save money as well and save time. So when it comes to combining the technology with these industries, this is actually if you have a good understanding of the technology and as well you have a solid background of business, you can actually build any process or automate any process in any field. You just have to have the beginning, or to put your first step in the business, and then you will start your career in this business model or business domain. I hope you can hear me well now, right?
Yeah, no, I can. I'm completely amazed, and it's actually quite incredible. So I want to build on that industry topic and actually also ask Sweetie, in terms of product management, in which industries would we be able to find product managers? Yeah, I think we're having technical issues from Sweetie. So I think what I'm going to do is I will continue on with Maha. And for everyone that has asked questions in the Q&A, I will ask Sweetie for the questions that are directed to her or are related to either product design or product management to type in the answers so that they can reflect in the Q&A section. And I too will also go through that those series of questions and answers that she would have provided. So I think in terms of audio, I will just continue with Maha, and then we will get to the Q&A section, going through the questions that you all asked. So I can see questions by Abibat, Belikis, Akai, Cecilia, Anonymous. So all of you, we will be answering your questions. I'm just gonna complete the last set of questions that I had prepared for Maha, and then we will get to the Q&A. Yeah, so I think, so Maha, do you have any advice that you can share with young women and girls who are considering a career in tech? And with that, are you also able to just give light to possible obstacles that women would face in pursuing a career in tech? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with the obstacle one and then go for the advice. So I do believe that the most important change a woman would consider is being it when she must choose between the financial development and the knowledge. I know that the conventional wisdom indicates that we should focus on reflection and knowledge before the finance. And I know in practice, we all are lured by high salaries. I'm no exception, but we should have a clear vision on what we want in life. We should not be easily tempted by distractions. I never say we ignore finance, but finance should not distract us from acquiring the expertise we need to reach the final phase of we dream of. A woman should select a career path that lead her to become a global expert as a priority. Of course, financial security is important to each one of us, especially if the woman faces challenges. But nothing will ensure the woman her consideration in social and professional levels more than her experience in the technical field. Another factor a woman should consider, and for which she might take a decision to change, is the family. As a female, we are safeguards for our families. Recently, we are facing a dual fallacy, which means our career path is placed in contradiction with our personal lives. We should not give up to that. We should ensure that as we grow professionally, we grow as mothers, sisters, and daughters. There is no clash, because as you know, that this field, the technical field, is taking a numerous time of our time. Sometimes we might work from 9 to 9, and sometimes we might work till midnight. So there must be a work-life balance. And my advice is, first of all, have faith. Faith is our solid grounding that will give us balance when we face challenges. As Muslim, I find my faith as a concrete base that gives me balance. And second, believe in what you are doing. You need to stay strong to what you believe in and trust your vision at work. You will not transfer your trust to others if you don't have trust at yourself. And the third and the most important advice that I advise anyone in the technical field or any woman in the technical field to follow is learn, because this field, the tech field, is always improving and is always having new technologies that is emerging every day. So you have to keep track of all the updates and all the technologies to be up to date and to have the chance to acquire a good job in a top tech company. Yeah.
Thank you, Maha. So I can closely relate to the aspect of faith. I think if there's anything that's been carrying me throughout my career, not just through the pandemic, has been my faith. So believing in yourself, I think, is quite important. And you also spoke about having a work-life balance, as sometimes you would find yourself in situations whereby you are working until midnight. I think what I loved the most about your responses is that it shows that the actual career in tech does not discriminate against you as to whether you're a man or a woman or irrespective of how you identify as gender-wise. The job would require you to do stuff that typically were probably unheard of in the past. I mean, women in the past were not in the office until that late. So you I don't know if you're married, by the way. Are you married? Because then it would be very interesting.
Okay,
so
yeah, that's why
the reason why I'm
asking.
Because my reason for asking this is that, had you been married, and let's say you're married to someone outside of the technology industry, even relaying that to them and saying, you have to work late, they probably wouldn't understand, as to, if you're working with a computer, why do you have to be there around midnight? What are you doing, So that's quite interesting, and I appreciate the authenticness in which you answered the question. So I think you touched mainly on the obstacle part and how they can overcome it. But what advice do you then give to young women who really want to venture into this career? And maybe not just young women. I see a lot more people also transitioning from other disciplines into tech. So what advice do you have for anyone either wanting to transition from another career into tech or looking to embark on a tech career?
Okay. So, this actually applies on me because I started working as in testing, software testing. And as you know, software testing is more concerned about business and technologies, but it's not deep into the the coding or not deep into the deep knowledge of the programming. And once you have passion towards a thing, or once you believe in yourself that you can do anything, you will start and you will just rocket away. What I have done is actually I left 6 years of experience of testing for the sake of learning automation and learning intelligent automation and RPA. And I started RPA, continuing my career as an RPA testing lead. And then I found a passion towards the RPA development. That's why I started learning on my own, and I started to have to exert more effort in development and in solution architecture to have a full picture of the RPA, because actually this is my sweet spot. So my advice is that once you believe in yourself and once you believe that, or you love what you are doing, you will just reach what you do. And the advice that I always follow is to learn and to continue learning through a postgraduate learning course or diploma or having certificates. This will all ensure that you are on the right track to reach the job that you want. So the tech field is mainly concerned about believing in yourself, having passion towards what you are doing, and actually continue learning. Yeah, this is from my own point of view, these are the 3 main factors that will guarantee for anyone to have a good tech job or a good job in a top tech organization.
Yeah. So I really love the fact that you're not just, let's say, a leader in robotic process automation, but you're also a solution architect. So for me, those have always been 2 distinct career roles. So I know a couple of solution architects, I work with some of them, and I also know people who are doing work in business applications and doing some RPA work. But these 2 people are usually not the same individual and not often even in the same team. So how can you please maybe share a little bit more about the solution architect aspect of the work that you do? Because for the first time, I mean, this is the first time I engage with someone who's doing work in RPA and is also a solutions architect. Usually there it would be, traditional engineers or computer scientists, and they just graduate into an architect role.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So solution architect it might be a little bit different in RPA from the normal software solution architect, because actually, as a solution architect in RPA is the one who took the decision and the one who just guide the way that how the process will be automated, or how the RPA will be implemented throughout the processes and throughout the domain. So this is actually based on experience and based on a good business understanding of how the business model will operate. You have to understand well how what are the customer main goals from having RPA, and you have to understand your team capabilities in order to have a good delivery. It's more into it's a merge between technical and managerial role, but it's more into technical. And I decided to pursue this career path because actually I'm more interested into technical. And by time when you grow, you have to dig deep into the managerial role, but you have to keep your technical path. This is my own point of view. You have to keep your own technical path to be up to date with what the market, with what is new in the market and the newest technology. So solution architecture in RPA is mainly based on all the aspects of the tool of the tool you are implementing or of the tool you are using in RPA, as well as know the aspects of the technology and your team, so you can lead the solution architecture of a team, having a good knowledge of a design patterns, how to design a process and how to make sure that this process is matching the ROI, the return of investment factors that are aimed or addressed by the customer. So it's a little bit different from the solution architecture, but you have to have a good understanding of all aspects of the RPA when it comes to designing, the implementation, or testing. And that's and since I was having a good background in testing, and I started to know well about robotics process automation development, it gives me the chance and encouraging me to become a solution architect in this field. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, Maha. I think quite a lot of people who are on the call can relate to what you're saying. For example, I know someone who has experience in testing, but more unit testing. So if they're not on this call, I'm definitely going to share with them after the call to say, hey, did you know that working as a tester can actually be the beginning of your journey, and you can start even venturing into RPA? And I also know another lady that has done work in corporate under RPA, and has now also started on an initiative in skilling women on RPA. But just sharing that knowledge of the fact that an RPA lead can actually also be a solution architect, I think it's a game changer, and it's something that is new right now. So I know definitely in the banking industry, it's something that they are pursuing aggressively. Even firms like Ernst & Young are ones that have RPA like individuals. So that's really, really great. I'm gonna move on to the question and answers. So our other panelist, Sweetie, who is a product manager, also has a background in computer science. She is having technical issues in terms of her audio. So all the questions that are directed to her, she's answering via text, but I'm just going to read them out for everyone so that they can hear. And those that are directed to Maha, or if Maha wants to add on to some of the questions that were directed to Sweetie, I'll give her that opportunity as well. Before I get to the Q&A, I'd like to say big thank you, Maha, for sharing your journey with us. It's incredibly inspiring. I'm going to start off with one question where we spoke about you working until midnight. Someone asked, how do you avoid burnout? It was an anonymous person. They asked, how do you avoid burnout?
Avoid burning out. Okay. So this is a good question, actually. So avoid burning out by having a work-life balance. We have passion towards our work, and we have passion to deliver, and we have passion to learn. But we should take care of our life. We should take care of our families, and you should pamper yourself every once in a while, because actually excessive working will lead to burning out, and you will not be productive anymore. And this is not the goal of our career. Our career is to be more productive and help others to be more productive, and lift the burden over other teams. So having a work-life balance, I might not have a good work-life balance, but I'm trying to every once in a while to have a break and to do something that you love, even if it's 5 minutes of listening to music or going out with your friends. This will change the mood and will give you a passion to continue. And the most important thing, to sum up, to elaborate more, the most important thing is to have a work-life balance, and consider having like a hobby that it will give you the chance to continue, and will give you the power to continue without burning out.
Thank you, Maha. I think what I can share from my personal experience, so last year, I actually suffered from burnout around April time, because I used to be the person that banks their annual leave until December. So I would go through each year, not taking leave and only taking it like at the end of the year so that I can have like an extended break. And I realized that that is an absolute bad habit, you know. So I'm very appreciative of my team as well as the leadership from the organization that I work for, who show by example that taking a break actually makes you more efficient, you know. So they don't glorify people who work crazy hours and never take a break. They actually remind you that, hey, you've got leave days, please make use of them. And they also do workshops on wellness so that you can be mindful about not sitting for 12 hours in a day without taking breaks to walk, you know, so, and engaging with people. So there's a difference between going throughout your whole day in virtual meetings with your camera off and actually maybe just taking 5 minutes and having a cup of coffee virtually with a colleague with your video on. That can completely change your day, you know, so that's very, very important. And also seeing some of our leaders being very active outside of the work environment, like they are sports people, like doing really, really well. I'm quite inspired. So in South Africa, we are almost out of winter. I'm not using the season as an excuse, but come spring, I will be out there. And then someone asked that they are stuck between learning between project management and product management, or UI versus UX. And they asked, what would you advise me to do? They have an experience in content writing. So this question was for Sweetie Anang, and she answered in the Q&A section to say that she doesn't see why the person can't study both. So she's actually advocating that, you know, there isn't a barrier to entry. Explore and see what interests align better with you as an individual, and then focus on that. So that is to Anonymous. I hope you feel well answered there. And then we've got Grace Amusan, who asked, how easy is it to get tech opportunities outside of Nigeria as a woman? And what countries do you think should be on the list? So I think this is also another question that was directed at Sweetie Anang. And she answered via text to say that in recent times, it has become very popular. You may create an account on Van Hack and explore their job opportunities. So I would like to add to Sweetie Anang's answer and say that Microsoft opened what we call an Africa Development Center in Lagos in Nigeria, and they are hiring software engineering students directly from university. So there's no prior work experience required. Please have a look at the Microsoft Careers website and do apply. And I also have a couple of other friends who are from Nigeria that are based from all over the world. Some are pursuing, studies in Germany, to further their education. Others are actually employed by tech companies from around the world. I would say when it comes to competition, Nigeria is actually giving the rest of Africa a run for their money. You know, everybody's interested in looking to work with Nigeria. I know even the CEO of Twitter, Jack, is not hiding it. On Twitter, he would say Nigeria with a fist up. And they've recently opened up offices in Ghana. So the first Twitter HQ in Africa is actually in Ghana. And they are open to hiring talent all across Africa. So whether you are from Egypt, Nigeria, South Africa, you can apply for those roles. So I would say if you are Nigerian right now, you're the hottest thing in the planet. When it comes to tech, everybody wants you in their team. So one of the other ways I would recommend for you to do is to join online communities. So if you go to meetup.com, there are a number of developer communities that you could join. They meet every month, similar to the Tech for Dev. And in those communities, you are able to network and engage with other professionals in the industry, and they often share some work opportunities that are available. So from my side, I say, look up the Africa Development Center. They are hiring very actively. They've hired over 200 engineers and they're looking to hire more. And that's not just in Nigeria, it goes the same with Kenya. And for the rest of Africa and Middle East, there are lots of opportunities that are available. So please go onto the Microsoft.com/careers website. And then we've got Oluwa Bukola Adelaga. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. They also directed a question to Sweetie. They said that they are self-learning on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for about 2 months. And they've been taking online courses too as a focus on front-end development. They were wondering, what are their chances of landing a job as someone who's learning on their own? That is a very good question. So Sweetie answered that everyone has a chance to land a job. Her tip is for the person to engage personally in projects and build a portfolio so that they can have a CV when they are doing interviews. They can also speak about the work that they've done and also try and get internships while studying. So I think that is very, very good advice. And if you're wondering how you can build your own portfolio if you are self-learning online, GitHub is one of the best ways to do it. So open an account. Every project that you do, it doesn't matter how small it is, even if it's a hello world. Let's say you're starting your journey into mobile development and all you have is a phone app that says hello world. Just do it, and 3 months from now, as you look back onto your journey, you'll be like, oh my gosh, 3 months ago, I wrote this app. All it did was say hello world, but look at where I am now. I've learned how to do this. I've learned how to do that. And, it tells a story, not just of your development journey, but how quickly you are able to ramp up on your skills. So I do agree with Sweetie and say, build your portfolio. You can do that for free on GitHub. And then there is, let's see. So Maha, I'm hoping you can answer this question because I know we spoke a lot about RPA as well as solution architecture, but in your bio, I did read that you did some work in AI engineering. Is that correct? Yeah, so this question, I'm directing it to you. It's from Esther Johnson, who says that she has questions with regards to data analytics because it seems a bit off from today's discussion. However, she'd be glad. Wait, where is it? Okay, what happened? I had the question right there.
Actually, I don't have that much knowledge about data analytics, but let's see the question, and if I have an answer, I'll give it to her.
Sorry, Maha, let me just read the full question. So she says she'd like some advice to be given towards making progress in the data analytics path. So far, she has done some personal online learning on Power BI and SQL.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not that much aware of data analytics, to be honest, but I know that multiple resources that we can start learning from, and there are multiple websites that can offer intensive courses about some topics like data analytics, predictive analytics for business. For example, I got a nano degree in predictive analytics for business from the nano degree website. I'm sorry, I don't remember now. It's Udacity. Yeah, it's Udacity. So we have Coursera, we have Udacity, we have multiple websites that can offer free courses and free intensive courses with a very good knowledge in these fields. But Unfortunately, I don't have that much knowledge about data analytics, so I can't answer accurately your question, but you can check out these websites, Coursera or Udacity. They have like a full track about the data analytics and the different fields in the data analytics, and I hope it would help. Yeah, and I don't know if Sweetie can help in this as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Maha. So Sweetie just shared via chat that she did analytics in her master's. She says SQL is a very good place to start exploring around data analytics. So I'm just waiting for her to expand on the answer, and then I'll read it out for everyone. But one thing I can share is that I also do have colleagues that I work with, some as solution architects who have strong SQL and Power BI skills, and they're doing some amazing work with organizations, some in the financial services industry. So Esther, one thing that I can recommend is that if you go to meetup.com, do check out, there's a community, I think it's called Power Apps and Flow. Just check it out. And there's also a Power BI community. So they also meet every month. I think in that community, you'll also connect directly to individuals that work every single day with the technology, and they'll be able to answer questions that you have and also share opportunities that are available in the space in case you are looking for work. So I am looking out for Sweetie's expanded answer, and as soon as I have it, I will share it with you. So someone asked Grace Amusan asked if there are internships for students studying software engineering, and I'm gonna say yes. So again, the ADC the Africa Development Center has internships that take place during your school holidays. So do look out for them. Sorry, there's an echo. So do look out for them. And outside of the Africa Development Center, I do know of many other organizations that offer the same as well. So even banks in the financial services industry, they offer some internships as well. So do be on the lookout, because I think a lot of the students don't apply for internships. I don't know why. So how I started off my career with Microsoft was actually during school holidays when I was in university. So back when Windows Phone development was a thing, I used to do mobile apps for Windows Phone as well as desktop apps. And that's how I landed my first internship. And that way you build a relationship with an organization, and they also invest in you and teach you skills. So if there are internships, do look out for them. And also touching on what Maha said earlier, sometimes look at the value that you're going to get out of an opportunity. Don't just chase the money, especially early in career. Skills are more valuable, because the last thing you want is being expensive and not having the skills. So, and then there is a question. Yes, Grace, even with no prior certificate in computer science, you can apply for internships. And then Oluwakemi Lasisi says, I really appreciate Women Techsters Bootcamp for the great opportunities. Thank you for that. And then Abibat says, I have an interest in offensive security. How do I acquire relevant skill in penetration testing? So I think it was you, Sweetie, but correct me if I'm wrong, Maha. But Sweetie, in your bio, if I remember correctly, you did some work in cybersecurity. Is that correct? Sweetie, also maybe let's try getting your audio again. Okay, so Sweetie says cybersecurity is not her. So yes, we can hear you.
Yes, so I think cybersecurity would be Maha.
Okay, Maha.
Okay, so I actually didn't work in cybersecurity before in penetration testing. My work was concerned with, my previous work was concerned with normal manual testing and automation testing specifically.
Okay. So I would say to the person who's interested in cybersecurity, I've got a friend, her name is Doreen. She's on Twitter. She's got an organization that primarily focuses on cybersecurity. I would say just, connect with her on Twitter and learn what she's doing and how you can get into the industry. Unfortunately, I don't know much about that industry, but it's something that I respect very much. And there's also another organization called Geek Culture. They recently ran a security-focused hackathon called it was focused on cybersecurity. So also look them up on Twitter. Their last hack that happened recently at the beginning of the month was purely focused on security. So I think the individuals that participated are either experts in the field or people who are learning and venturing in the field. So it would be great if you could connect with them. Thank you all so much. I think I went over time in terms of the time that Joy had given us. But now that Sweetie's mic is working, perhaps before we close, Sweetie, if there's anything you'd like to share, please do share it with your voice. And I'll just read the reply that you gave with regards to analytics. You shared that Power BI, Tableau, Excel, as well as Azure Machine Learning or Azure ML are all tools or software that you can use to study, which will help you with your data analytics journey. However, note that these are just tools. And if you want to study more about the underlying technology and concepts, then you would need to, study more. So thank you for that, Sweetie. And if there's anything you'd like to add, please unmute and let the people hear your voice.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yes. So I'm very sorry about the internet challenges, but I'm very happy to come on again in the next few months because it seems there's a lot of people that had a lot of questions and I'm not sure if I covered everything. Also, unfortunately, I don't have Twitter, but I'm very active on Instagram. So you can just send me a DM. My Instagram handle is NAA_AADUA. So that's fine as well. I'll be happy to answer questions for anybody at all.
Thank you, Sweetie. And any last words from you, Maha?
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be a part of such a good initiative. Thank you all.
Thank you, Maha. Joy, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'd like to hand over back to you.
Thank you so much, Lebogang. I must confess, it seems like you've been doing this all your life. It is such a great job. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So now, before we go on to a session with Rafiat, I'll be speaking with Rafiat shortly. So Rafiat, you can put up your video. I'll be calling you up shortly. So before that, I want to answer, there's some questions I saw on, and I feel I could attempt to answer them. Okay, so there's this question about, I have interest. Abibat asked. She said she has interest in offensive security, and how does she acquire relevant skills in penetration testing? So what I'll advise you is for cybersecurity. So I'll be talking about the Women Techsters program right now. We focus on 5 learning tracks. We train women across Africa on 5 learning tracks. Right? There's the product design. There's products management. There's software development. There's data science and visualization, and there's software development. So there are 5 learning tracks. Product design, cybersecurity, I didn't mention that. So there are 5 learning tracks. You could apply for our bootcamp, master classes, and the fellowship program. So let me start with the open day? Because I know there's another question that asked if this was just an event to talk about robotics, and yeah, there's a question like that asks, what was this all about? Was it about robotics? Is it just a session? So what we do is that we feature female professionals every month from different tracks, from the 5 different tracks we focus on, right? To come speak about their experiences, tell their stories, and answer questions as related to their learning track. So that's to say, for this month, we have Lebogang, who is working in a tech company, Microsoft, and she has experience, right, with technology solutions at Microsoft, and she's a moderator. We have Maha, who is an automation expert, and we have Sweetie, who has a background in software development and product management. So we have them every month, like not on the same track, just come and talk about their own experiences in tech. So the open days actually an awareness session. We hold open days every month just to, educate women about the opportunities that are available in tech. We also have boot camps, right? And I believe there's some boot camp applicants on the call right now. And for those of you that have applied for the boot camp, I know that you've gotten emails to submit your motivational videos, your headshots, and your CV. So I will address that shortly, but for those of you who don't know what the bootcamp is, the bootcamp are 2 weeks intensive training that would give you an introduction into tech, into either of the 5 learning tracks. So when you register for the bootcamp, you get 2 weeks of training and you're able to build your portfolio, right? So if you have a functional laptop, you qualify to apply for the bootcamp. And even if you don't have a laptop and you can get access to a laptop for 2 weeks to use, yes, you can apply for the bootcamp. So it's just going to give ladies foundational knowledge and entrance into these technical skills. We have people that have gone through our bootcamp programs and gotten internship placements. So you don't really have to have a graduate degree to apply for the bootcamp. And that's one good thing about tech, it's very fluid. Everyone can go into tech. All you just need is the discipline, the interest, and the belief in yourself. Like Maha mentioned, you have to have faith in yourself and proper time management. You can actually dedicate 1 hour every day and learn tech. And really, you don't really necessarily have to code to be a woman in tech. Just like Sweetie also mentioned, right? You don't actually have to code. So the bootcamp, we're taking in a new branch, a new batch of boot stars soon, and they're actually undergoing the screening. For those of you who are on the call and apply for the bootcamp, please, if you are having difficulties with submitting your videos, ensure that your videos are not more than 10 megabytes, right? So you submit. And after that, we will release the final list of, select the final list of beneficiaries for this next cohort. The fellowship is another program we organize and is a yearly training program. It's a year-long coding program that is executed over 12-month period. So there's 4 months of training. I don't know if there are Techsters in the building, Women Techsters Fellows. I believe some of them are on the call right now. So there's 4 months of training and then 2 months of mentorship and some extracurricular activities, and then 6 months of internship within tech organizations, right? So if you go through a fellowship program, you are able to build your portfolio enough. So the bootcamp is just for 2 weeks, but the fellowship gives you enough time to work on several projects, undergo several practical tasks. It's kind of very, 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 it's a very, very intense training. So you should have somewhat level of experience before coming to the fellowship so that you don't get to struggle, right? And so after the internship, some of the beneficiaries would get jobs. Some of them would go ahead and found their own startup companies. Some would also use the skills they've acquired, to put into their businesses, right? And there are also others that after going through this program, the fellowship program, they could decide to study STEM at an advanced level. So we also have master classes. We organize master classes, again, for women that are female professionals with entry-level job roles. So if you are someone that is just starting off a career in tech, I would advise you to look out for a masterclass. So far, we've held a data science masterclass and a cybersecurity masterclass. in order not to, take too much of your time talking about this, follow our social media pages. You will find more information on all these call for applications. We announce it whenever there's any program coming up. We'll announce on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. So follow us. The link to the handles, the social media handle have been posted on the chat. Check the chat, but it's going to be reposted again. So when you follow us on social media, you will get all this information firsthand. Okay, so I've spoken about the 4 programs and the opportunities that the Women Techsters Initiative offers. And I also want to buttress the fact that we're doing this for the next 10 years, right? So it's a lot of, there is a huge gap between males and females, and we are trying to bridge that gap. And we won't be able to achieve this if you don't, come on, put yourself into, discipline yourself enough to learn and acquire this knowledge. There are actually opportunities out there. I've been so amazed with the opportunities that Lebogang has mentioned. She mentioned the Microsoft African Development Center, the Twitter HQ in Ghana. There's so many things you could, and then meetup.com. And one thing I always tell ladies is that you have to be on LinkedIn. You have to be on LinkedIn. As a woman that is going into tech or starting out a career in tech, you have to put out yourself. You have to build your portfolio. And the best way of building your portfolio is to, put out your work out there, put it online, and then connect with the right people. On LinkedIn, there are several CEOs, there are several professionals. There are, several people online that you can connect with, even on Twitter, right? Follow them, chat them up, send them a DM, send them a proper message, and then you can gain entrance. I've heard of testimonies of people that have gotten their jobs through connecting with people. And I myself, I am a testimonial of someone who got opportunities based on my connection. So connect with the right people, attend events like this. Open days happen every month. Don't just be selfish with what you learned today. Try and connect with people in the field so you could learn more. So now we'll be going, now that you know about the programs, and we'll be going into the far side, a little interview session with an alumna, Women Techsters Alumna, someone that has gone through our program. Her name is Rafiat Aminu, and she's on the call right now. In just a few minutes, we'll be discussing about her career path, and then we'll take some few announcements and will be done for today. So stay on the call. Please do not go anywhere. So Rafiat Aminu is a digital marketer at Dufuna. She's an avid learner that possesses knowledge in design, front-end web development, content writing, digital marketing, and product management. Wow. She utilizes this area of skills to solve a variety of problems, whether professionally or personal. Her tech journey with the Nigerian Women Techsters kicked off in 2019 June after her BSc in Pharmacology, Therapeutics and Toxicology at the University of Lagos in December 2018. The NWT, which is the Nigerian Women Techsters program, laid a fundamental foundation in programming, after which she proceeded to her National Youth Service Corps. If you're in Nigeria, if you're a non-Nigerian, the National Youth Service Corps is a program that every Nigerian graduates go through to give back to the society, where she served in the capacity of a software engineer in a fintech company here in Lagos. It's been up from there, and she has worked in other IT firms till now. The world of technology is so broad and has made her view of the world from a whole new perspective, and she's actively involved in her own little capacity. She enjoys what she does because it avails her the opportunity to be flexible and dynamic in her choices. She also loves expressing herself through her writing and design. In the long run, she wants to actively build products that will build ease to people's life. Hi, Rafiat. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I've noticed you've been on the call for a long time now.
Yes, I have, and it's been amazing. I'm so glad I didn't miss it. Miss Maha, Miss Lebogang, and Miss Sweetie, they've done amazing justice to the topic so far, and I'm glad to be here, actually. I'm glad to be among them.
Thank you. So let's go right in. I have read your bio, but I want to hear from you. Just tell us the things that I must have missed out about yourself and your background.
You basically covered most of it, but let's say starting at the beginning, let's start from my university. So I studied pharmacology. It's a medical sciences course at the University of Lagos, Nigeria. And so after school, there wasn't really much to do. And I was awaiting my NYSC, then I stumbled upon this opportunity. I remember I had to, for the end of UT, I had to go on the very first day, and I didn't go through registration process. But when I went through, I was allowed because it was a last minute something, and I said, okay, everybody is welcome, and I was welcomed, and I'm so glad for the opportunity once again. Then I think the program was about a month or 2 weeks, I'm not sure, but that was where I had my very, very, very first basic foundation in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I still remember my instructors, Miss Linda and Mr. Chris. They were amazing. Then after that, then okay, I remember we were supposed to have. I was supposed to go for the internship after the program because there's an internship after the end of UT program, but I couldn't go because I had to go for my NYSC. Then when I went for my NYSC, right there in camp, a fintech company came in. They were looking for software engineers, and with the little knowledge I gained from NWT, I think it was either 1 month or 2 weeks. I'm not quite sure the duration, but with that, they gave us a short test, and I applied, and I got in, and that was how I did my NYSC in fintech organization with my very basic knowledge, but it has improved over time. And from there, after NYSC, then I moved on to I still have the knowledge in software development. Then I still do front end, not too much back end, unfortunately, but I do front end, and and I still take gigs. I learned WordPress. It's like after I left, like most of my friends and family were when they're like, oh, okay, like they basically came to me for anything tech. So they needed a design or something. It was like, okay, just I need a design. Even though I wasn't a designer, but it was one of the few things I picked up. Then okay, I need a design for some program they're having, and I will quickly whip up something on Canva. And so I was just basically the go-to tech person. Then also I joined some other communities of women on Slack, on Telegram, and so I was able to connect. Yeah, I was able to connect with fellow like-minded women, and take jobs and opportunities until now.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for the clarity, right? So I'm really curious, considering your background in the medical sciences, study pharmacology, big words, toxicology, and then venturing into tech, how was it for you? And because I know there's so many ladies out there, and they are maybe art students, have a background in social sciences, and then they don't even know how to go about it. So how was it for you? How were you able to transition?
Yeah. All right. So like I said, my very first foundation was in the Nigerian Women Techsters. So I couldn't have asked for a more enabling environment because it really picked up my interest. So thing is, after school, there wasn't so much there. I was awaiting NYSC. So I stumbled upon the NWT program, and then I did it. Transitioning, it wasn't so hard. It wasn't hard at all. And if anything, I think I even it's like maybe you need something technology, maybe an article about how technology is working in the health sector. It's like I'm the go-to person. People come to me to write articles on that, and so far it's been things like that have gotten me opportunities. I've been able to merge both backgrounds into it, and I'm even considering doing my MSc in maybe biomedical sciences, or still something that has the influence of technology and sciences in it. Yeah.
So I'm curious, right? In such a short period of time, 2019 and 2021, you've learned digital marketing, you've learned front-end development, you're into content writing. Just tell me, how was the journey like? Were you learning all of them at the same time? Or did you have some of the skills before now?
Okay, the skills are interchangeable. So it's like they all complement each other. So if 1 minute you're writing articles, you probably need a description, a visual description for it. So you just go on Canva. Canva makes designs very easy, and there are other design tools also. You pick that up. Then digital marketing, from content writing. So you can or if an opportunity comes up that requires digital marketing, I could easily take a course online or go on YouTube and quickly do something. And like I said, I was the go-to person for tech for most of my contacts and most of my friends. So that was how I was able to merge, like they're interchangeable. So you just merge all the skills together, even in design. Like I'm still undergoing a Google certification in UX design presently. So I'm learning to use Figma and Adobe XD. Then software development is there, and I don't know, the opportunities just present themselves. Once you're out there, you're among people, opportunities bring themselves, and it's an opportunity to just learn more and do more.
From all you've said, right, I just see that, most women have excuses, talk about, there's so many limitations that are hindering them from doing anything. But like you said, people set you up. Once you just have a foundational or gain entrance into tech, people begin to set you up for success, right? Because they'll come and meet you, oh, help me write this content, help me do this, and then you go back to learn. So how has learning in a structured environment helped you discipline yourself with learning by yourself? So what I mean is that, you've gone to the NWT program. That was your first introduction into learning tech. Did it help you in any way to continue learning these skills? Or do you think you would have done better even without the structured environment?
Or, even after NWT, like I said, it was only 2 weeks or 1 month. So it wasn't really, it was enough for the foundation. I had to do more on my own. My teachers then, our instructors, they still gave us materials even after the program. And whenever there was maybe Plural Sites, the e-learning platform, they were having maybe some discounts off or a free weekend. I still kept in touch with my instructor, and they would send us the link to apply and do some courses, and also something to add more to your portfolio. So I didn't stay. It's not as if after NWT I just stayed there. Of course, I went through other programs, that were even I think NWT was my first physical program, and the pandemic sort of hit, and then NYSC. So from there it was just remote. My NWT was actually physical. Went to the location, but for any other thing I did after that, it was remote work, remote learning, and so a lot of remote learning, there's self-learning, and also I have friends. I have a couple of friends that are doing software engineering. They are software engineers. Some are abroad, some are, they're just doing amazing things. And like, I have a problem, I go to them. I mean, it's just, they're always available to help, whether males, whether females. So far, like everybody just, it's an open community. You're welcome. Nobody's hiding anything. We want more people in it. Everybody wants to help you. Everybody's eager to learn. And you're welcome. Everybody's just welcome. So it was very easy for me. It was very easy.
Thank you. So I think I picked out something from you. Learning in a structured environment is very good, and you still have to be disciplined to learn by yourself, right? So thank you very much for that. So I want to ask one final question. So what's your advice because I know they must have heard from industry experts like Sweetie, Maha, and Lebogang, and the young girls like you and I, they're like, how do I even get there, right? So what's your advice to someone that wants to just start off a career in tech, like just want to start learning tech? How do they go about it?
Well, first of all, you have Google. I think it's an online resource that's really helpful. Then communities. There are communities for women, even something like this NWT. Even after I left the program about how many years ago, but we're still a community where there's an alumni, and there are opportunities that open up within even these Techstars, and we the alumni get like firsthand information about it. And so you join communities, then you speak to someone. You could go online, you could Google. In their industry experts, obviously. You could Google, you could talk to people. There's probably someone you know. Or you could just put up your WhatsApp status and be like, oh, please, I'm trying to go is anybody here into software engineering? I want to ask a few questions, and someone will definitely respond to you and will direct you. So join communities, then do your research. Join communities and do your research. Really helps me a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rafiat. It's a pleasure hearing about your experience, hearing about your own personal experience and your journey into tech. And we're proud of you. We're proud of your achievements so far in such a short period of time. Like, you're one of the people that have really wowed us all. So well done, well done. So could you please drop your LinkedIn profile? So in case anyone wants to connect with you after now and reach out to you.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
My LinkedIn is basically LinkedIn still, just my name. And also on professional sites, remember to always use professional names. So my LinkedIn is still basically Rafiat Aminu. So just if you have any questions, or I have a couple of friends that if you need their help or anything, I'm sure they'll be very happy to help.
Thank you so much, Rafiat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joy.
So now I'll be answering some questions I saw on the chat. I didn't see any question for you in particular, but there's this question by Belikis Orinyewo. She says, when is the bootcamp starting? The bootcamp will start in 2 weeks' time. After the whole screening process, then we go into the bootcamp. When is the fellowship starting? Great, Samusan. Check out, follow us on social media. The announcement will be made. There's no particular date yet because there are still some fellows in the program, and they are still until they round up with the program. Then we'll begin calling for application for the next fellowship program. The announcement will be made. And is all the phases of this training for free? Yes, totally free. Let me hear from Rafiat. Rafiat, were you charged for your training? Do not lie.
No. I was, as a matter of fact, lunch was provided every day. It was so convenient. It was very, very convenient.
So, but now we don't provide lunch anymore, though. So they don't feel, because it's not a physical thing. We moved on from that phase. Now it's virtual, right? So we have ladies in our programs joining us from Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, and Egypt, the 5 countries for this year. By next year, we're going to expand to other countries. This is free, and we are supported by Microsoft, our partners. We want to really thank Microsoft for what they are doing, the work they're doing in Africa, and helping us to take this information, take technology to other women in Africa. The women, because we need more women out there, right? So thank you so much, Rafiat. Now I'll be handing over to Yemisi for the final announcement. Yemisi or Chigozie for the final announcement, and we'll call it a day.
Thank you.
Thank you.